I've told you that what most people know to be their zodiac sign is not really their zodiac sign, and that holding on to dear life to your zodiac sign is only holding you back from getting the big picture of the real story of your birth chart. In this video, I'm going to break down what exactly I mean by that, and in the end, I'll guide you to where you could get a free resource so you could know how to cast your sidereal birth chart, and so you could get the most out of understanding your natal planets. Hi, I'm Mercedes. I'm a lifelong astrology enthusiast, and this is my work, Language of the Ether. On this channel, I aim to give valuable sidereal astrology content that brings insight, clarity, and catharsis, especially for the benefit of Black, queer, trans, disabled, and COVID-cautious young adults that are navigating the world as it is. Within the past 4 years, I found myself delving deeper into studying astrology, and within 3 of those 4 years, I've been focusing especially on sidereal astrology. The reason for that sums up to this one statement. Sidereal astrology is the most reliable and precise way to describe your life story. Now you might be wondering, how is that the case? Well, first I want to break down what a star sign is, what tropical astrology is, how it's different from sidereal astrology, and what exactly I'm talking about when I'm saying the word sidereal astrology. So a star sign is basically the sign that the sun was passing over on the day that you were born. It's the sign that you most likely know yourself to be based off of the month and the day that you were born. Most people enter astrology with the knowledge of this sign, and usually that sign is based off of the tropical zodiac. What is the tropical zodiac? The tropical zodiac is a way of calculating the zodiac from our point of view on Earth, but it's not really a calculation as much as it's just a set calendar. It's a way to measure where the planets are in the sky, but with set months and dates. So every year around March 21st, March 22nd, that is the first day of Aries season. And that month and date is commonly known as the spring equinox. Both of the equinoxes and both of the solstices correlate to the start of the cardinal signs. So Aries always starts on the spring equinox, Cancer season always starts in the summer solstice, Libra season always starts in the fall equinox, and Capricorn season always starts on the winter solstice. And then all the other signs are filling in the blanks in between, but usually within tropical astrology, Aries is considered the first sign. So we think about the order of the zodiac signs and when they start throughout the year based on when Aries season starts, March 21st or 22nd, usually that time. So keep that in mind. It's set month and day, same day every single year. So it's different from the sidereal zodiac because the sidereal zodiac accounts for something called the precession of the equinoxes. If you just heard me say that and you have no idea what I just said, don't worry, I will describe what it is for you right now. When you think of the precession of the equinoxes, think about how the Earth's rotating all the time, very slowly, like a top. Think about it like a top that's spinning and spinning and spinning, but of course the Earth is spinning very slowly. But the way that it spins is slowly shifting the tilt of its axis. So every 72 years, the degree of where the zodiac signs are from our point of view on Earth shifts 1 degree every 72 years. Not every 72 years, but within those 72 years, it shifts enough to the point that 1 degree, there's a 1 degree difference every 72 years. And with this slow shift of Earth's axis, this causes our point of view of where the constellations and where the planets are in the sky to change with it. All of this is happening for thousands of years, has always been the case, where the zodiac, from our point of view on Earth, shifts because of Earth's slowly shifting axis, Earth's little slow dance, always mixing up, always, not mixing up, but it's always in movement. It's not always the same, it's not always stagnant, it's not the same our point of view of where Aries is in the sky has not been the same month and day every single year for thousands of years. It changes. It's been fluid. That fluidity is so important and so necessary to keep in mind, because that's what's actually happening in the sky. When we account for that, then we could be as precise as possible. This is important to consider, because this is literally what this is all about. It's about your point of view on Earth, where the zodiac and the planets were on the exact month, date, time, and year that you were born, and location that you were born. This is all important to consider, because if that's where they literally were, then that is literally mirroring you and the story of your life. You and the components of yourself and the components of your life. All those details are important to consider. So while tropical is convenient because it's the most common and popular way to calculate where the constellations are from our point of view on Earth, it doesn't account for that change. It doesn't account for that shift, that constant change. While it may have been the case that literally thousands of years ago, in 15 AD, that sun was in fact in Aries on present day March 21st, around 15 AD, yes, thousands of years ago, the Earth's tilt, Earth's axis, allowed for people at that time to see the sun passing over Aries at that time of the year. So now I want to delve into what I'm talking about when I say the word Sidereal Astrology. I am not talking about Jyotish, also known as Vedic Astrology. Most people, when they hear someone say the word Sidereal Astrology, Vedic Astrology is what comes to mind when they hear those words, and that's not what I'm talking about. While Vedic Astrology utilizes the Sidereal Zodiac, the Sidereal Zodiac is not exclusive to Vedic Astrology. Anybody could use the Sidereal Zodiac. It's as easy as just looking through a telescope and seeing where in the sky the planets are in relation to the constellations, or using an app like Skyview through a virtual telescope, where the same thing, where the planets are in relation to the zodiac. So when I'm talking about Sidereal Astrology, I'm simply talking about the story of the journey of the planets in the sky and the ways that they mirror our lives here on Earth, whilst utilizing the Sidereal Zodiac. Utilizing the Sidereal Zodiac is not exclusive to any one culture or country or tradition or heritage or religion. So while I absolutely admire and appreciate the work and the depth of Vedic, that's not my avenue. That's not my wheelhouse. I'm not of that culture. I don't have any immediate relatives that are Indian. I don't have any Indian heritage that I know of. And I don't have any Hindu heritage that I know of. So I absolutely admire from the side and have learned a thing or two from people that practice Vedic astrology, not directly, of course, just vicariously through the internet and watching them talk about, the depthness of nakshatras, and it's fascinating. But that's for them, not for me. I'm just here to appreciate, not appropriate. So when I'm utilizing the Sidereal Zodiac, or when I'm practicing Sidereal Astrology, I'm coming from the perspective of someone that's Black, that's grown up in the West, that's grown up in America, someone that's queer, someone that's agender, someone that is Caribbean American. So when I'm interpreting Sidereal Astrology, I'm interpreting it from that background that I'm coming from. Anyone can practice Sidereal Astrology, anyone can practice astrology. Who you are really changes the way you use it, though. Your intentions really change the way you look at astrology, the way you interpret the zodiac, the way you interpret life, your actual life, your actual lived experience. And that's why I believe that there's no room for flowery language with Sidereal Astrology, because it's straight to the point. There's no room for making things up for something that's literally mirroring the story of your life. So while I was editing this video, I realized that I forgot to mention a few things, and that there are certain things that I ended up looking up while in the process of editing the transcript. While I was rereading the transcript, I realized, wait, is this true? let me look up a chart for this date, or let me look up certain details about this. Like, it just made me wonder, wait, am I saying this right? And the first thing I want to touch on is the fact that I said that tropical is like a set calendar. I was specifically thinking about the fact that the tropical zodiac in relation to the sun, that is typically used like a set calendar because it's the same month and date every single year. Every year you could expect Sun in Aries to be on March 21st or March 22nd. Seasons are based on the sun. The zodiac itself are based on the seasons and the amount of time that we see the sun throughout the year. I was wrong to say that the tropical zodiac isn't an actual calculation. It is a calculation. Because again, it's not just the sun that is being measured in a chart, but when you're measuring where Mercury and Venus and so on and so forth is, there's no set calendar for that. They are on their own path, on their own journey. I am wrong when I said that the tropical zodiac doesn't change and that it's stagnant. It's not stagnant. It changes too. As a matter of fact, with that 15 AD example that I brought up, in 15 AD, Sun was actually in tropical Pisces, which is fascinating because I really want to know what people think about that. People that aren't that well versed in astrology, what do you think about the fact that if you were born in 15 AD, you wouldn't be an Aries, you would be a Pisces in regards to your sun sign? I think a lot of opportunities missed out into more people knowing about their chart and knowing about their story when we only prioritize convenience. It's very much like English, like learning tropical astrology or knowing tropical astrology is like you gotta learn English to navigate so many things in the world. You gotta know tropical astrology in order to navigate talking about astrology with so many people. Like, whenever I try to talk about sidereal with so many people, like just people that just know their sun sign, like, don't mind talking about astrology or enjoy talking about astrology, but they're very much grounded in their knowledge of their tropical chart and in their tropical sun sign, that whenever I bring up sidereal, it's very difficult for them to understand what I'm talking about. I have a sincere question about what are the cultural and political and philosophical reasons of prioritizing the sun. What is the cultural and historical and political and philosophical reasons and implications of prioritizing the sun in the way we calculate the zodiac, and thus the way we calculate where the planets are in the sky and the way we think about our birth chart, the story of our lives, the story of the world and mundane astrology? What about the moon? Considering the moon is so much more personal to us as people. It's literally the population. It literally represents the people. So that was essentially the corrections and the soapbox moment that I wanted to have. I'll let things continue rolling now. So here's the point of the video where I share with you that free guide that I mentioned in the beginning. If you've never seen your sidereal birth chart, or if you're just someone looking for another perspective on sidereal astrology, you could download the free Sidereal Astrology guidebook that I have in the description below, and it's also in the pinned comment below. This guidebook touches on the basic principles of sidereal astrology, what settings you'd use to cast a beginner-friendly wheel chart, and it includes a printable wheel chart template along with a detailed example to help you visualize and interact with the intricacies of your birth chart. If this video was helpful for you, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below to let me know what are your thoughts on sidereal astrology. If you made it this far to the video, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe, and you can follow me on my Instagram, and you can follow me on my Substack, where I'll be sharing even more sidereal astrology insights and wisdom. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.